In the last class, we discussed about how the different types of operations can be performed in SQLite DB browser, and after that we seen programmatically how the table is going to be created and how the database is going to be created. And in today's session, we'll see how the data is going to be inserted in the table through program. Okay. And similarly, we'll see other operations, how other crude operations are going to be performed through a Python program, right? So let me revise what we seen in previous class, so that we'll do a little bit of extension to that. Okay, so in the last class, let me open last class notes. Yeah, this is the last class, what we discussed in our last class. So we written a program. We written a program. In that program, just we created a database. The database we created is student.db, and in that student.db database, we created a table. The table name is exams table. Okay, in that exams table, we created some fields like student ID, name of the student, and marks. And similarly, we created one more table, that is employee table, right? In employee table, we have employee ID, employee name, and salary, right? So these are the things what we did in our previous class, and all these are like creating these two tables, like employee table and student table. Everything we did through program only, right? But in today's session, what we'll do is we'll try to create a program. That program is going to perform all the operations automatically, like how insertion is going to be done, and how deletion is going to be done, and how update is going to be done. So all these operations we'll see through program, right? So simply all the crude operations we'll try to perform through Python program. Okay, so let me write a simple program, so that after this program, and next we'll go to some small application, small project, so that you can understand what is going to happen. Program to connect to database. Okay, so first we need to connect to the database, and once it is connected to the database, next we need to write different types of queries, so that it's going to perform different types of operations. Okay, so first for this we need to import SQLite. So we need to import this SQLite 3, and after that we need to create a database. First creating database, and once the database is created, in that database we need to perform different types of we can create multiple tables, right? So first let me write connection con is equals to 3 dot connected. Okay, so what database you need to create? You need to mention the database name. Let's say I want to create a database with the books.db. What is the meaning of this line? The meaning of this line is nothing but connecting to or creating or connecting to books database. Okay, so what is the meaning of connecting or creating? For example, if already this books database is available, then simply it is going to connect to that database. For example, actually so far this is not there. Okay, this books database is not there, so that's why what it is going to do is simply it is going to create. Okay, if it is already created, then simply it is going to connect it. But here in my case, okay, in my system it is not there, so that's why what it is going to do, it's going to create. Okay, it will create the database. Next thing is I'm going to create an object. That object I can call it as cursor object. So cursor object cur is equals to con dot cursor. So by using this cursor object, we can perform different types of operations. Okay. So just I created this cursor object, cursor cur is equals to connection dot cursor. Okay. Now with this cursor object only, I need to execute different types of commands. I need to execute different types of commands, like creating command, creating table, next inserting data into table. Okay, so different types of commands we need to execute from this only, right? So now I'm going to create a table. Create a table. Okay, so I'm going to create a table. So for this, I need to write cursor dot execute. So this is a method. Execute is a method. So what this method is going to do? So it is going to execute the query what you are going to write. So what query you are going to write? You are going to execute that query. Execute. Okay, I need to write. Something here. So what is the query? Create a table. Create table. So for example, table name I can call it as book one. Create table 1, and the book 1 I create some column name, that is book ID. Book ID is one column, and it is an integer. Next, book name. Book name is it's a character. You can give some size. Next, price. The book. This other column, it is also integer. Okay, so this is a query I need to execute. Okay, very simple. Just you call this cursor dot execute. In this cursor dot execute, you need to write the query. If you remember, we written the same type of query also. Here also we written the same type of query in the background. We written the same type of query. If you remember, we written the same type of query in DB browser. Okay, so here when we are going to create some query, we created the same type of query here also. Let me show you. In the last class we created okay, let's say this employee database. In employee database we created this, right? So this is a table we created: employee database, employee name, employee ID, employee salary. With these columns we created. So now we are doing this same type of table. We are doing through program, right? So here I am creating table. Table name is book 1. Database name is books.db. So once this is done, then we need to display some statement to the user, like a table created successfully. Okay, so we need to display some statement to the user, like print table created successfully, or table created. Okay, and once this table is created, already I told you in my previous class, you need to, if you want to store this table, I told you something, we need to write some command. Anybody remember what command we need to write to store that table permanently in your database? I mentioned this in my last class. Anybody remembered what you need to write if you want to? Yes, very good. So we need to write the commit command. So commit is nothing but it's going to store the table permanently in your database. Connection dot commit. connection dot commit. Connection is nothing but, so committing means it's going to give a database. Next, after that, I'll close CO dot close. So this is a simple program. Please each and every line and try to understand, because it's same template. This is the same code we need to follow for every database connection. If you have any doubt in any line, please let me know. Because once you understood this, then only we'll move forward. We'll perform different types of operations. Still, if anyone having any doubts, please let me know. Just I created a small table. Okay, and once you understand this, then only we'll move forward, like inserting data, everything we can do. Any doubts? Just see the again. This is the module because we are working with SQLite database, and this is for creating, connecting to the database, and this is a cursor object, because everything we need to perform through cursor object only. So here actually CUR, I created this object CUR. So CUR is nothing but cursor object, cursor dot execute, and the query you need to write. Okay, and this is for giving some information to the user, like table is created. Okay, next connection dot commit. Commit is nothing but saving the changes in database, right? Next to close, closing the connection. So any doubts in this program? Every line you must understand. If you have any doubts, please let me know in each and every line. If there are any doubts, please let me know. Okay, so now we'll try to execute this program. So I'll execute this program. So just it is nothing but a create table. I'm saving this as create table.py. Create table.py. Okay, so same program I can copy in Notepad also, so that okay, it is for your reference. What we are doing in each and every program, we'll see all the programs in combined class 14 and 2 operations. Return program. Okay. So yeah, now I'll execute this. Okay, so we are getting some create table. Yeah, so this parenthesis is not closed properly. So let me check. Yeah, here I opened this parenthesis, and here one more parenthesis is there. Create table book 1, book ID, book name, char 20, price int. Okay, so so book 1, book ID, book name, character 20, price int. I hope it is clear. Let me check. So now table created successfully. So now all of you are aware of where this table is going to be created. What is the location? So the location is in C drive. There is a folder called Advanced Python. In this Advanced Python, our file name is createtable.py. So in the same location, means in the same location where our file is located, in that place only our table will be created. So now let's see. I'll open this from Open Database. What is the database? Database just now we created. Okay, this is books database, books. And I'll open this. If you see here, this is the table what we created. Book ID, book name, price. So book ID is one column, book name is second column, price is third column. Now you compare this program with this structure what we have in our SQLite. So now we can understand. Just you compare this program with the SQLite so that you can understand okay, how it is created in the database. Okay, so please check each and every line and what we did. First, we created a database. That is what here it is showing books.db. Okay, next we created a table name. Table name is book one. If you see here, the table name book one is okay visible here. Next, in this table, we created 3 columns: book ID, name of the book, and price. So that's why we are getting this 3 fields in this table. Is it clear? Is commit and close function are predefined? Yes, yes. Commit and close function are predefined. These functions are available in okay SQLite module. All the functions relating to tables, databases, database connection, all are available in SQLite module only. Okay, we are not creating. These all are inbuilt functions. Okay. So now, any doubts? Just we created a simple table, right? So now I am going to insert some data in this table. Now the table is created. Only the table is created so far. Database created and table created. Now I need to insert some data. Now anyone tell me, how can I insert some data? If you see this program, just I need to do some small modification. What modification I need to do and where I need to modify this program. If I want to insert some data, what modification I need to do for this program? Because already I told you, we need to write some query. For creating table also, we are written some query. Where we written some query here? Don't run close. Don't run close. No. In this program, actually, where we need to change. Just see this program. Okay. So the clue is we need to write insert query. Where we need to write insert query? This program is for creating table. That's why I written create table query here. If you see here, this is a query, right? This is a query. Create table query. Why I written this create table query? Because our objective is creating some table. That's why I written create table query. But if I want to insert some data, then I need to write insert query. So very simple. Okay, if you want to perform any operation on a table or in a database, simply you need to change the query. That's it. You need to change the query and execute. Same logic, instead of create table query, I can write insert query. Okay, so that's why just I'll write a separate program, but you try to see what are the modifications I'm doing. Just I'm keeping this program as it is. Program to connect to database and insert data in table. Okay, so now this is connecting database, that is fine, but here I don't need to create any table. Already the table is available. So that's why what I'll do, simply I'll write insert query here. Okay, so here I'll write insert query. I don't want to okay, already the table is created, as the table is already available. I'm not going to use the same query again. Okay, but I'll modify this program in this line only. So now already you remembered what is a query for inserting. Insert into, what is the table name? Table name is book 1, right? Book 1. Insert into book 1 values. Okay, now what are the values I need to give? So I need to give values like first value is, what is the first column name? Book ID, book name, price. So book ID I can give 100, and book name I can give Java, and price I can give some 500. So this is a query. That's it. This is a query we need to write. Okay. Similarly, I can execute some more queries. For example, cursor.execute. Just I'm executing 3 queries. So this is, I can change 200 book ID and 300 book ID. And instead of Java, I can write C++. And instead of 500, I can write 1500. And here I can write HTML. And instead of I can write 2500. Let's see. Okay. Now after this, just I execute, and simply I can write data inserted successfully. Okay. So now let's see what will happen. So these are the general modifications if you are going to work with any operation on a table. So just what are the modifications I did? Only one modification for the previous program. Instead of cursor.execute create table, I used insert. Why I written these 3 separate queries? Because I need to insert 3 separate records. Okay, Java book, C++ book, HTML book. So that's why I written 3 separate queries. That's it. So now I'll change this program. Program name is insert data dot py. Insert data dot py. Okay, now I'll run this. Okay, now see here, data inserted successfully. Now let us check whether data is inserted or not. So where we need to check, we'll go to SQLite DB. So now it's, if you see here, is there any data in this table? There is no data, right? Just I'll refresh. Here there is an option for refresh. Just you click this. Okay, now see here, the data is inserted, right? Whatever the data we inserted from the program, just you see here, what data we inserted from this program, the same data is going to be there here. Just you check here. Yeah, this is the data what we inserted. First data is 100 book number or book ID, and book name Java, and price 500. Second data 200 is book ID and book name is CPP, and the price is 1500. Next third data is 300 is book ID and book name is HTML and the price is 2500. Okay, that is what we did from the program. We did this from the program, and it is inserted where? It is inserted in the back end. Actually, we are not doing anything in the database. We are not doing anything here. But where it is inserting? This is inserting in the database. If you consider any real-time application, any database application, same thing is going to happen. For example, I asked one question in my previous class. If you don't have any Gmail, okay, you're going to create your Gmail account, right? So when you're going to create your Gmail account, first time Google is going to ask so many details from you. So how you are going to give your details? What are the details you are going to give? All the details will be stored in some place, right? Where? Like this example, how the book details will be stored in database. In the similar way, your personal details are also going to be stored in Google database, some table. Okay, for any application, not only this, even Aadhaar also. In Aadhaar also, you are giving so many details. You are giving fingerprints. You are giving iris. You are giving date of birth. You are giving your personal details. Everything. Okay, they are storing in some table like this, right? So this is about insert. Any doubts in this program? Any doubts in this program? Here I am not going to create any new table again because already we created a table. What is the table we created? Book 1. Book 1 table already we created. Just we are trying to insert some data in existing table. The table is already existing, right? If you want, you can create a new table also. That is up to you. You can create a new table and you can insert. So here, just I'm not creating any new table. For example, if you want, you can create new table also. For example, here actually it is inserting. Insert into table. For example, in the same program, for example, let's say you want to create a new table and at the same time you want to insert some data in that table. That is also possible. In the same program, you can perform all operations: create, insert, delete, update. You can perform all the operations in same program. That is also possible. But as we are in beginning stage of database, we are performing all these operations in different programs. If you want all combine, and you can do it in a single program also. Any doubts? Yes, in place of create query, we can write insert query. Okay. So that's why I explained all the syntaxes of queries in one of our previous class, right? We've seen some queries in previous classes, right? So what is the syntax of create, insert, delete, update? Okay, any doubts for creating database, creating table, and inserting some data? Any doubts so far? If you have any doubts, please let me know. Okay, so if you consider any application, whether it is based on Java, whether it is based on .NET, whether it is based on Python, whether it is based on any application, okay, if you are working with a database, the same thing is going to happen. For example, simple, you are writing examinations, you are writing semi exams, okay, and where your result is going to be stored. If you enter your hall ticket number, you are getting your result, right? But from where you are getting that result? You are giving just hall ticket number and you are clicking on submit button, you are getting your result, right? So what is the background? What is the background query that will be executed? Already I told you this, right? The query is nothing but simply it is a select query. It is retrieving your result from a table. In a table already your result is stored. After paper evaluation, after paper correction, your marks will be stored in a table. Okay, from that table you are retrieving. How you are retrieving? By giving hall ticket number. Simple, it is going to execute select a query. Select a star from some table name where hall ticket number equals to some 501. So it is going to retrieve the table or the result of 501 student. Simple. Okay. Anyway, we'll see that that select and update also. But before going to select, okay, we'll complete this update and as well as delete, so that finally we'll see that select. Okay, so select is nothing but simply retrieving the data, and from where we are going to get the data? From a table. So that table is SQLite 3. SQLite 3 is nothing but one of the module. Okay, like you have math module, right? Math means what is math module? Math module is used to perform mathematical operations. For example, let's say in your C language we are having something like hash include math.h. What is that math.h? What is the purpose of math.h? If I want to perform some mathematical operations, then I can include that math.h header file, right? Similarly, in Python, if you want to perform some operations, if you want to perform some mathematical operations, you need to import a module. The module name is math. Similarly, if you want to perform some operations on SQLite database, then you need to import a module. Okay, that module is nothing but SQLite, where all the functions are there. In math.h, what will be there in C language? Why you are including math.h? Why you are including stdio.h? Why you are including conio.h? What is the purpose? If you don't include conio.h, what will happen? You are unable to access the files which are available in conio.h, right? So you won't get the access of the files of the functions which are available in conio.h. Similarly here also, if I want to, like I told you, some functions, like what is the function, dot cursor, dot execute, okay, dot execute, these all are available in SQLite 3 module. Okay, that's why we need to import that. If you don't import, you won't get the access. You won't work with the database related functions. I hope I answered your question. Okay, right. So now we'll try to perform some update operation. So this is nothing but insert operation. Now we'll write some program for update. So this is nothing but inserting some data in table. Inserting data. So now this is inserting data. Now we'll try to modify the same program so that we'll try to update one record so that you can understand the difference. What this update. Okay, so program to connect to database and update data and table. Okay, now I'll try to update one student information. I'll try to update one student information. So now if you see this table, we have 3 records. We have 3 records. So first record is book ID 100, book ID 200, book ID 300. Price of the book ID 100 is 500 and price of the book ID 200 is 1500. Now I need to change the price, this one. The second value I need to change from 1500 to 1000. What is our job? We need to change the price of second book, CPP book, okay, from price 1500 to 1000. So that is our job. So how can we do this? We'll see. Okay, so now I need to update the table. So what is the command? I think all of you remembered. Update command is update table name, right? Update table name is book 1. Update book 1. Set what I need to set, or what I need to modify. I need to modify price. Okay, so what is the price? Now the price is 1500. Update book 1 set price is equals to 1000, where book ID. What is the book ID of that book? Book ID is equals to 100. So now I am going to update book ID is equals to 100. Now see here, the previous price of this textbook is 1500. The previous price of this textbook is 1500. Now we need to change the price of this textbook from 1500 to 1000. So this is what I need to do. Okay. So for that only we are going to write this program. So update book 1 set price equals to 1000, where book ID is equals to 100. So now after this, data updated successfully. So now see here, before update it is 1500. Now I'll run this program. Update.py. Update.py. Okay, so now data updated successfully. Just you go to this database. Okay, now it is 1500. Just I am going to refresh. Okay, so now see here, it is updated to 1000. So which book I am updating? I am updating first book. Book ID is 100. Okay, so book ID 100. I am setting the price as 1000. So that's why previously it is 500. Now it is changed to 1000. Okay, right. So like this, we need to update. You can update any value. For example, you can update this book name, or you can update this price, or any value you can update depending on your requirement. You can do anything. Any doubts? Update book one set price equals 1000, where book name is equals to CP. Yeah, actually, why I am updating this price according to book ID? Okay, anyone answer my question? My question is, what is the query I written here? The query I written is, after where I written book ID, why I am not using book name? Why I use book ID here? As some of you are mentioned book name, right? So Sumant is mentioned book name equals to CPP. Of course, this query is also going to work, but why I written this book ID? Okay, in general, why I am going to use this book ID means, if you take any application, for example, book ID is the unique ID, but the book name may be same. For example, I may have some 2 textbooks, but the 2 textbooks names are CPP. If you go to your library, there are n number of textbooks are available on a particular subject. Let's say subject name is CPP. On CPP, you will have n number of textbooks are available, but all the textbooks are having same ID? No. Okay, each and every textbook ID is different. Like your hall ticket number. Maybe in your class, 10 students are there with the same name, but all the 10 student hall ticket numbers are same? No, right? So that is the reason why we are going to use book ID, where after where I am going to write some condition. That condition is based on unique ID, or in general, okay, in DBMS terminology, it is known as primary key. Based on primary key only, we need to write the condition. Okay. For example, in this example, if you are going to write the query and book name also, if I write this query also, I will get the result. Why? Because if you see this table, in this table, there is no other book with CPP. Only one book is there with the CPP name. So that's why, okay, it is also give you the same result. But in general, if you talk about real-time databases, we always go with unique ID or primary key. Okay. So I hope all of you understood, right, how we are going to perform this creating database, creating table. Okay. Next, inserting data into the table, and next updating table. Any doubts? If you have any doubts, please let me know. Because it's very important for any project. Tomorrow, if you are working on any project, definitely you need to do same type of queries we need to write. You need to write the similar type of program. Only the thing is your tables are different. As in my case, I'm using book one, but in your case, maybe your tables are different. Okay. So you can use the same logic for any type of application if you are working with any database. Okay. Any doubts? If we don't have any doubts, I'll stop here and we'll see delete, select operations in tomorrow's class. And I'll show you some small mini project also, how the data is going to be handled. Okay, in real-time scenario. It's some simple project. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can type it in the chat box. We don't have any doubts.